Hello and welcome back to JW's Dugout. John here. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. It's been a little while since I've done one of these old-fashioned pickup videos. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust off the pile of eBay pickups that have been sitting on my desk for, it seems like a couple weeks now. I've got a nice little hodgepodge of pretty much everything. Some pre-war, some sweet 50s vintage, a couple Hank Aaron gems, of course, and a few Atlanta Braves PC pickups because, you know, what's life without a Braves card or two. I do want to say a quick reminder before we dive into things. The subscriber giveaway that I posted a couple days ago is still rolling along. You've got until October 2nd to enter, so if you haven't yet, you're not out of the game. I really appreciate everyone who has either left a comment or put together a video response, chimed in answering the question that I posed, which is, what is your first card shop or card store memory? It's been really awesome reading all the heartfelt responses. And, you know, after the deadline, what I'll do is I'll share a video showcasing some of the comments and responses, and of course announce the two winners, because you know, if you go back to the video, you can see that there's two pretty prominent prize packages that you can take home. One of them is headlined by a Rick Farrell, Boston Red Sox great Hall of Famer auto, and a 1962 Topps SGC Orlando Cepeda, along with some other goodies. The other package is headlined by a Paul Molitor jersey auto that's numbered and a 1969 Topps Hank Aaron. So a lot of good stuff that you guys could potentially take home. All right, some other updates. You know, I'll be honest, between work piling up and cold season kicking in, a little bit on the early side with the kids, I've personally been dragging a little bit this week. Coffee is definitely my co-pilot right now, but you know, I put out some content. I had some bigger plans this week, but I don't think it's going to happen. But a lot is happening in the arena of sports, and I really haven't just provided some insight into terms of what some of my teams are doing, and I just thought I'd talk about that for a second. So what do we have going on? As a Braves fan, not much. We are nearing the end of the season. They play the Pirates. Three-game series starts tomorrow, and that's it. They're done. They did not punch a ticket for the playoffs. This has been a letdown of a season, even despite the fact that they've won 10 of their last 11. They've kicked it into gear seemingly after they were eliminated from contention. And here we are kind of already looking ahead to the offseason. But still a ton of exciting baseball out there. You've got the Detroit and Cleveland race, which is just absolutely insane with I almost said the Indians, what the Guardians are doing. Of course, the annual New York Mets collapse, which all of my wife included, but all of my family on that side, all diehard Mets fans. So if there's any solace in this season for the Atlanta Braves, is the fact that the Mets are near collapse, which is always a good thing. And then the Yankees and Blue Jays battling it out in the AL East. So a lot of exciting games on the horizon. Of course, a lot to look forward to with postseason baseball. But then we also have NBA preseason basketball is starting next week, which is insane. Right around the corner, and I'm super pumped about that. I'm really interested to see what my Knicks can do. Can they take the next step to get to the finals and potentially bring home a championship? I'll actually be back in New York City in late October for a wedding, and I'm really happy to head back home. And then we're also going to potentially see the Knicks and Celtics second game of the season that Friday night at MSG. Still trying to secure tickets. They're pretty pricey, but I'm hoping that we can make that happen. And then also my Buffalo Bills, moving over to football, are 3-0. Just a fantastic start to the season. I'm feeling good. Josh Allen's feeling good. And I'm planning to also hit the Monday night game because the Bills are going to be down here in Atlanta on October 15th. Also trying to secure tickets to that game. I'm hoping that that's going to happen, but really excited. All right. So let's get into actually one more thing. If you get a chance, tomorrow morning I'll be releasing episode 8 of the More Than It Seems short form podcast. I got great responses from my last episode. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's about Carl Mays. Great feedback. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it, to listen to it. It takes me quite some time to piece it together between writing the script and recording and editing. It's something that I have a real passion for. I love writing these long form pieces. So please feel free to give it a listen, past episodes, but also tomorrow morning, we've got a really, really interesting episode about Sam Rice. And then also I did a video earlier this week about my Fred McGriff PC, and that went up, actually it was yesterday. And it also has a special appearance by the crime dog himself, so make sure that you give that a watch as well. I really appreciate you guys supporting me and watching everything that I put out. So with that, enough of my rambling as I typically do. This intro is already like 5 minutes. Let's flip the camera around. Okay guys, before we get going, I gotta show this off because this has not happened to me in a very, very long time. This is about 2.5 weeks ago. I never put it on a video, but this little number came in the mail from eBay. I can't remember the last time I have seen a slab this destroyed. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the mailman decided to take it out and run it over with his car or what exactly happened, but not a terribly expensive card, just one that I wanted to add to the collection in the slab, and it's the 1992 Fleer XL Chipper Jones and a PSA 9. I contacted the guy on eBay. He was more than happy to provide a refund. I'm a little disappointed. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Probably attempt to crack it out, but it's going to ruin the card. Yeah, but this is Chipper in his Durham Bulls uniform when he was still in the minors. And I just thought that was funny. Again, not a terribly pricey card. I'm not too concerned. Very easily replaceable, but my goodness gracious, this thing is mangled. All right. Before we get into the true pickups, I want to show off a couple books first. I want to send a quick shout out to Alex Bowman 53's Card Room live stream from Sunday night. Great episode, streaming session that really was just a platform to showcase books that he's read, as well as a lot of people in the chat as well. So people were sharing ideas of great baseball history books that they've enjoyed in particular. I threw out a couple recommendations, and then it motivated me to, I am always reading. I'm currently reading 3 books at the same time. I have a terrible habit when it comes to that, but 2 that have been on my list that I want to get to just kind of add to the queue is this one by Roger Kahn. It's called The Era, 1947-1957, when the Yankees, the Giants, and the Dodgers ruled the world. Obviously the heart of New York City baseball. You might remember this author. He also is the author of the fantastic, I can't recommend it enough, Boys of the Summer. Just a wonderful book and look into the Brooklyn Dodgers. He also has a couple other titles, Good Enough to Dream, A Season in the Sun, and Memories of Summer. Fantastic writer. I'm really excited to dig into this one at some point here in the near future. I also picked up David Halberstam's Summer of 49. This one, I'm actually surprised I haven't read this one, but it's the classic chronicle of baseball's most magnificent season as seen through the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. You've got Ted Williams, you've got DiMaggio, a season that really kind of came down to a head-to-head matchup between the Yankees and Red Sox on the final day. So really excited to get into these. But you guys know me, I've got more books than shelf space, but you know, hey, I'm down in the basement, so there's some room at least. All right. Let's start off with a couple of the editions. I think I have 12 cards and then one of these guys here. No, I showcased these a couple weeks back, but the 1964 Aurora Vision baseball record. This is Whitey Ford. We talked about this. I won't go into too many details, but half baseball card, half record, 100% cool. You've got the chairman of the board. Excellent looking photo here. I'm really close to finishing the set. Just a few more to go. A couple of the big names, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle. Need to pick up Al Kaline and Sandy Koufax as well, but just such a fun crossover collectible. I'm really happy to add this one to my collection. So we'll put this up here. All right, now to the cards. We have 2 Hank Aaron's to showcase. It's the 1968 Topps Hank Aaron and the PSA 4. This is a mid-career Aaron. These feel criminally underrated, though. I love the 1968 Topps set. It's a classic vintage look, really without the crazy price tag, especially in a higher grade. But in like PSA 4, I think I got a pretty good deal on this. Don't quote me, but I want to say I was at around $80 on this. I should have really had this before I recorded the video to give you guys an idea of what I paid, but it may have been a little bit less than that. I'll go back and check at some point, but well centered, just a good looking card. Okay, I'll put that up here. We also knocked off one of the league leader cards. I didn't have the 1972 Topps NL home run leaders. You've got 2 Hall of Famers, Willie Stargell, Hank Aaron, of course, and then Lee May. This is in a PSA 4. Good looking card. Not very well centered, but again, just checking them off the list. These league leader cards is really what's kind of hanging up my Hank Aaron run. All right, going down the list. About 2001 Upper Deck Hall of Famers jersey auto. Yes, I did pick up one of the ones that I was missing, and that's none other than Ernie Banks. Was able to find this at a very reasonable price. These had been hovering around $150 to $200 on eBay, and I saw one that went to auction and put a bid in kind of last minute, was able to track it down for under $100. Not too shabby. So I'm getting really closer to finishing not only the master set, but the run of the jersey autos as well. I'm still missing Frank Robinson, Nolan Ryan, Joe Morgan, and George Brett. So I'm down to 4. But Ernie Banks is officially covered. I love the blue jersey swatch, clean Ernie Banks signature, and then the pose, him on one knee with the bats in hand. Love it. Let's put this one up here. All right, I did pick up a couple of Fred McGriffs for the PC. We'll fly through these really, really quick, but I got the 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Aqua Wave Refractor of McGriff. Just trying to knock off some from this run. I picked up the, what is this? The 2000 Pacific Invincible Holographic Purple out of $2.99. It's an interesting looking card. And of course, you've got the Spanish on the back. But nice representation of McGriff in his Devil Rays uni. And then this is I would say the prize out of the 3. This is the 1996 Select Certified Edition Fred McGriff Artist Proof. And these, they're not numbered specifically on the card, but they are out of 500. So I was waiting to see this one pop up on eBay. It did. I jumped on it, and I just think it's a very clean looking card. I love the Select Certified. So there's that one. I did pick up, before we get into like some true vintage cards, I did pick up 2 Greg Maddux cards that I didn't have in slabs. I just wanted to get them in slabs for the protection aspect of it. One is the 1987 Fleer Update Glossy in a PSA 9. Maddux on the Cubs. And then you can see the other one here, the 1987 Donruss rated rookie, his rookie card in the SGC 9. Black borders, of course, on this one are very tough to keep clean, so I'm happy with the sharp looking card. Pretty well centered too. Again, not huge pickups, but for the Atlanta Braves PC, for the Greg Maddux PC. All right, let's get into some true vintage cards. This one I have been waiting for a long time to add, and it's kind of an offshoot of the video that I created in response to Mike Baseball Collectors. I guess it's been about a week and a half now. Top 10 cards that I want to acquire before I die. I had mentioned the Hank Aaron Johnston cookies, or the Warren Spahn Johnston cookies from 1954. I did pull the trigger on this 1953 Johnston cookies Eddie Matthews in a PSA 2. I actually think it looks a little bit better than a PSA 2, but I think the color on it's fantastic. And these are, of course, the regional issues. Kind of predates his standard Topps 1953 card. And this is just a fun card. It's I guess I would say it's rare, but I got a really good price on it. You see these all the time down in Atlanta at card shows. I think I mentioned that during one of my previous videos, but I love the look of them. Obviously, they kind of play on the 1952 tops, I would say, a little bit with, you know, the box with the name inside and the team logo, but just a great looking card. Again, I'd love to get the 54 Johnson cookies, not only the Eddie Matthews, but also the Warren Spahn and the Hank Aaron. Very expensive card, that Hank Aaron. So we'll put this one right over here. All right, what else did I pick up? I picked up the 1954 Bowman Nellie Fox SGC 4.5. This is I would say a pretty iconic card. It's also part of the 300 Great Baseball Cards of the 20th Century. Mike Payne set. Nellie Fox in ready position, fielding a grounder. Good looking card. We've got some issues with the corners here. But Nellie Fox is another guy who I feel like doesn't get the credit he deserves in the hobby. Very underrated. Was a very steady presence. I do have his autograph. And I would say it's actually kind of, it's not a rare auto, but it's surprisingly pricey. He, of course, Nellie Fox died rather young, so that kind of drives the price up a little bit. But happy to add this 54 Bowman. I'm kind of chipping away at the 53 Bowman color set and then also the 54 Bowman. All right, we've got 3 more to show off here. This one wasn't always on my list, high on my list, but I would say over the course of the last month or so, I saw this card multiple times and I'm like, I really want to add this. I showed this off on my Instagram account a couple days ago, but the 1952 Topps Monty Irvin Blackback in the SGC Old Slab 3. And this is a beautiful card. Irvin with a great smile there. I love the color. Love the New York Giants hat. Classic baseball back. Beautiful card. This is a guy who like really just didn't get, I feel like, didn't get the credit that he deserved. There were many Negro League stars, as I mentioned on my Instagram account, who considered him to be their guy who they thought was going to break the color barrier. He was young. He was a tremendous hitter, tremendous fielder, could run. They thought he was poised to be the one who would break the color barrier. Of course, obviously, you know, Jackie Robinson took the crown and ran with it, but Monty Irvin and guys like Larry Doby really had just such a tremendous impact. And Irvin's a guy, like, I would love to really try to work on his run, and I think I will. He's a guy who just doesn't get the credit he deserves. So really happy to pick this one up. All right, this next one I'm really excited about. I've had this card raw in the past. I gave it away to a friend way back in the day. Try to get him into card collecting, and I wanted to pick it up again, a graded version, and I did. The 1959 Topps Willie Mays Baseball Thrills. And here's the interesting thing about this card, and maybe somebody who is a little bit better with their eyes can tell me why this is an SGC3. I think this card is incredibly well centered. I think the color on it is fantastic. There's maybe a little ding in the left corner here. Maybe a little wear in this upper left corner, but man, the color on this card really pops. I think it's incredibly well centered. The back is very clean, other than the fingerprints on the sleeve here of mine. But just an iconic card. Again, this is another one that's part of 300 Great Baseball Cards of the 20th Century. And it captures the play. I mean, everybody knows this. Everybody knows this play. This play and this card, for those who are in the hobby. And yeah, it's a magical card. I love it. All right, we'll put Mr. Mays here. All right, last on the list, because I don't want to make this video incredibly long. This is one that had been stuck in eBay authentication hell, for a lack of better words, for probably 2 to 3 weeks. I was waiting on this. There was just no movement. And I mean, what are we in? We're kind of toward the tail end of September here. I think I purchased this pressed purchase end of August, maybe the first couple days of September, and it took forever to get here. And that's the 1910 T206 Piedmont Joe Kelly. Yeah, so another Hall of Famer to add to the list. A guy that I likely will never get his autograph, so I got to start adding some of the cards to fill out my Hall of Fame run. This is in a beautiful SGC3. Of course, some of the corners are a little rounded, but just a great shot. I love Kelly's receding hairline, but just a dead ball era beauty. And, you know, Kelly was no joke. He drove in 100 runs 5 straight years. He stole 87 bases one year, and he could do a little bit of everything. And of course, he's best known for his, you know, his days with the Baltimore Orioles. But on this card, he's pictured with the Toronto team, and was a player manager at the time of, you know, this card. And yeah, went on to be elected into the Hall of Fame in 1971. And it was actually decades after he passed. So he passed in, I'm looking at my notes here, 1943, and he entered the Hall in 71. So a lot of campaigning to get him in. And yeah, I just love these T206s. I love to add these to the collection, holding history in your hand. And there's the Piedmont back, and of course the eBay authentication. I wish you could choose whether or not you want your card to go to eBay authentication. That'll never happen. But there you have it, guys. A lot of pickups. Again, this is accumulated over the course of the last couple of weeks. I know I had the recap of the card show, so I didn't get a chance to show off some of my eBay pickups. But you know, this is the stack for today. A little bit of everything. You've got books, you've got Atlanta Braves, you've got pre-war, you've got some Crime Dog, you have some Mad Dog. You've got it all. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I'd love to hear what you think about some of these pickups. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know your favorite from this batch, and maybe share, you know, what you've been hunting down recently, and if any of these kind of correlate to what you're on the lookout for. So that's all for today. I thank you guys for stopping by, and we will catch you next time.